Hi, my name's Azine, and this is my first full-length makeup tutorial, so welcome. Thank you for watching. This tutorial is a no makeup tutorial, which I don't do, like, ever. So I thought it would be a fun challenge for me to try, because even though I do this skin and this lip makeup pretty frequently, I almost always have more eyeliner than this, or like stronger eyes than this, just because I like how it looks. But again, I thought it would be a fun challenge and also maybe helpful to people with my features or similar features to me who need or want a no makeup look. This is really good for school or work. You can tell I've made a bit of an effort. Like, it's not like completely invisible makeup, but it's really, really light. So thank you so much for your time, and let's get into it. So this is my face with actual no makeup on. I'm starting with an eye primer, and I'm just using that for my upper lids and also a tiny bit on my lower lids. And it's just gonna help the shadow go on more smoothly and blend more smoothly, as well as even out my eyelid skin tone a tiny bit. And the lower lid primer is for the concealer to go on smoothly. I use my fingers a lot while doing makeup, so you will be seeing that. This is a really light pink blush. I know it looks dark there, but it's actually super light pink that I'm actually going to be using on my eyes. Blush is more sheer than powder eyeshadow, so it's really good to use as eyeshadow when you want something very sheer. So I'm putting it on my inner corner and all over my lid as well. And like I said, I do use my fingers a ton. Feel free to use yours also when doing makeup like this, because it just helps everything blend better, and it shears everything out more so it looks more natural and less like you have makeup on. I'm just working in layers here until the whole eye looks a little bit brighter, which is what that light pink really does for it. I am going to be using this medium brown eyeshadow for the outer third of my eyelid and the outer third of my crease. And I'm going to wing it up just a tiny little bit so my eyes are lifted, but I'm not going all the way in because I really want my eyes to look open. So I'm just adding a bit of dimension to the outer corner, the outer third, with that brown eyeshadow. I'm going to use the same brown eyeshadow for eyeliner, both upper and lower eyeliner. There I go, I'm blending the shadow with my finger again because the line was too harsh. Make sure all of your textures are as matte as possible for a no makeup, because any shimmer or glitter is going to look like makeup, which is gorgeous. I love shimmer and glitter. I don't actually have that much matte makeup, so like I said, this was a challenge for me. I'm using a really firm angled brush to use the eyeshadow as eyeliner, and then again blending with my finger. This is a lot easier than, like, it's a lot more beginner friendly than any other type of eyeliner, because it's really easy to fix mistakes and it looks very natural. So just poking it along my upper lash line there. Basically what the dark brown is doing is it's giving me the illusion of having thicker lashes, which my lashes are pretty thick already, but it just helps with that and with defining the eye and opening it up a little bit. You can see I'm like desperately trying to stop myself from winging it out because I love wings. So I'm turning the angled brush and doing a little wing on my inner corner, It just changes the shape of my eye a tiny bit, makes it a little bit more defined and almond shaped. And I would normally do this with black liquid eyeliner, but since we're doing a no makeup, I am using the same medium brown eyeshadow just to wing in the inner corner a little bit. And I think it looks really cute. On the other eye, see, again, it's really easy to do that inner corner. You just pull down. And you can always use Q-tips instead of your fingers if you don't want to use your fingers to blend for any reason. I forgot to do my mascara, so I'm doing my brows first, but don't worry, I do remember to go back. So I'm tight lining with a dark brown pencil. I use this pencil for both my eyebrows and for liner or for tight lining. And then, as you can see, I'm pulling on my upper and lower eyelids. This looks like it hurts, but it doesn't. Just please be very careful and very gentle with yourself. If you can't do this, that's totally fine. It's not exactly comfortable. It's not painful, but it's not comfortable. So no worries. It's just a really natural way to, again, add definition. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times, but do you see? Just makes my eyes a little more intense. And normally, again, I would do that with black, but this is a natural makeup tutorial, so. I'm using the same pencil, and I am very blessed with my eyebrows, so all I do is add like 1 or 2 lines to each tail to make them more even. I used to fill in that hole that I have on my left eyebrow, but I don't anymore because it doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah, I'm really casual about my eyebrows, so I know that most people are not. So if you do more than this for your brows, just do your normal eyebrow routine, and it should be totally fine. That is clear brow gel, and just running that through my eyebrows. This is the Patrick Ta one. It holds really well. It does hold all day. They do get a tiny bit crunchy, but not as bad as most brow gels. They still feel soft. Just shaping it. I remembered mascara, amazing. So I'm blotting off the mascara as much as possible. You can see I'm kind of squishing it with my fingers, the wand, to get off as much as possible. So just wipe it off as much as you can, and then normally I would be wiggling the mascara wand at the roots of my lashes, like doing that zigzag motion to get as much product on my lashes as possible, but since this is a no makeup look, I'm applying mascara the normal way, normal in quotation marks there. I'm just pulling up from root to tip. I'm not zigzagging like I normally would be. It still looks good, but I think it's because this mascara is amazing. This is Benefit Bad Gal Bang. It's been my favorite mascara for like over 5 years. I love it. Same thing on the other eye. I don't recommend doing lower lash mascara if you're trying to do a really natural makeup look, because it's much more obvious than top lash mascara, especially if you don't have naturally dark lashes like I do. Oh, that's another thing. If you're naturally really light blonde or light redhead, or your lashes are very light, I recommend doing a brown or dark brown mascara instead of black like I am doing here. I'm just using my fingers to pinch my lashes really gently to get off clumps, so there's no clumps on my lashes at all. You can see it's just a really light feathery look, but my eyelashes are more extended and that makes my eyes pop more. This is what I'm going to be using as foundation. It's Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and it looks like I'm putting on a shit ton, but it's so lightweight and it blends out so easily that it doesn't really look like anything once you're done. It just kind of perfects your skin. So I'm just swiping that all over my face, and I'm going to blend it with a foundation brush. My skin has been pretty clear recently, so I don't feel the need to conceal that many areas. I still want my natural skin to shine through. I do not like full coverage foundations at all. I never really have. I just don't like how they look or how they feel. So this is a really nice option if you're like me and you tend to like medium to light coverage foundations, or even no foundation, like tinted moisturizer or nothing. That's also great. Foundation is not a requirement. Never has been. So I'm just blending it out to make sure there's no lines and get an even coverage all over my face. You can use a beauty blender for this, you can use a brush, you can even use your fingers if you want. This is a slightly more full coverage foundation that I'm just using for under eye concealing because I actually don't own concealer at the moment. So I'm just using this foundation, and the primer I put on really helps for it not to crease. And then I'm also using that more full coverage foundation on that little patch of hyperpigmentation I have on my cheek. Now I am using lipstick as blush because cream and liquid blush is always more natural looking than powder, so I'm using the lipstick as a cream blush. I'm just going to pick up a really light amount with my brush and just make sure it's really blended onto your brush because you don't want a big glob on your cheek for this look. And just really light layers. Try and blend it as much as you can. You basically want it to be like an oval on your cheek with really diffused edges, like a gradient. You can apply it in whichever shape you normally apply your blush. I like to go along my cheekbone because it highlights my cheekbone, but you can do whatever shape you like. I am doing the other cheek now. And like I said, cream or liquid blush is always more natural looking and softer. If you're really looking for a good color for a no makeup blush, just pinch your cheek when you don't have makeup on and try and match that to a blush or a lipstick. Or an eyeshadow, whatever. I'm putting a little on my nose as well because I really like the nose blush look, but I don't like to go too heavy with it because it emphasizes my nose a little bit. This is translucent powder. I forgot what it was for a second. You do not have to do this. I'm just very oily, and this Charlotte Tilbury foundation, or what I'm using as foundation, is very luminous, and I just want to tamp the shine down on my T-zone, so I'm just putting powder on my T-zone. If you're worried about looking too powdery, we will do a setting spray at the end, and that helps cut down the powdery finish when you use a setting powder. So just keep that in mind. And you also don't have to use setting spray, just like a spray of water or rose water, any facial spray will cut down on the powdery look, but the powder will still be holding your makeup in place. Like, it'll all turn into one thing. This is a little contouring brush I'm actually using the same brown eyeshadow that I used for my eyes and my liner to contour my forehead and my cheek. I do not normally contour, so if it looks like shit, I'm sorry, but I don't typically contour. I don't think it looks bad though. It looks weird right now, but I blend it out and it's all good in the end. So Yeah, just running across my hairline, and this helps with a little bit more of a tan look and also helps your forehead look a tiny bit smaller or more contoured, have more dimension to it. And the sides of my face. Again, this is totally optional. You do not have to do it. Yeah. If you do choose to contour, just make sure you blend as much as possible because no one wants the dirty face effect. Unless you do, which please send me a picture if that's your thing. I would love to see. This is, or sorry, now I'm contouring under my cheekbone. And I think this contour turned out really nicely. I basically start at like my ear, like my sideburns, and then I bring it down just halfway across my cheek. And it really helps my cheekbones pop out, I think. I like how that looks. Also, I forgot to talk about my nose contour. I just do one line in that little dip in my nose. And yeah, okay, I am now using a highlighter, which is a mix of a white matte eyeshadow and a yellow matte eyeshadow. And I'm just using that to highlight my cheekbones and also my nose. So for my nose, you can see it's kind of like blush first, and then one line of contour, and then highlight on both the upper bump of my nose and the tip. This is a lip exfoliator tool. You can buy them off Amazon or really anywhere. It has these little silicone bumps that exfoliate your lips. Just use them on dry or slightly moisturized lips. Be very gentle, just go in circles, and it helps get all the dead flakes off, and it helps make your lipstick look a lot more natural because there's no flakes of skin there. This is a lip tint. I'm doing one really light layer first. I love this lip tint. It's from Etude House. It can either look really natural or really bold, and I love it for that. So lip liner is very tricky if you're doing a no makeup, but I did do it and I am happy with how it turned out. Again, the key is just blending. Use your finger, use a tissue, make sure there's no lines anywhere. Try not to overline your lips too much. I like to overline like a couple millimeters, and I did do that, but it's mostly just defining my natural lip line, and that does help make them look bigger, even if you don't go outside of your natural lip line. This lip liner is also a tiny bit darker than the lipstick I use, so that helps with a 3D effect as well. If the outer edge of your lips is darker, then the inner will look more plump and more full. So that's always a fun trick to use. Just using my finger to blend, as always. The last thing that I do for my, first I'm going to add another layer of lip stain once I'm finished with the liner. You don't have to. This does take it slightly out of the realm of no makeup. But I think it's really pretty. Using my finger to make sure it hasn't collected any of my lip lines, and this is just clear lip gloss, totally clear. And I'm going to be putting a little bit of that on. This is a little bit obvious, like as makeup, but it's gonna wear away like as soon as you drink or eat something, so I wouldn't worry too much about it ruining the effect. You don't have to use it though. It is completely optional. I think it's really cute though, it looks very healthy. And then here's that setting spray I was talking about. So this is gonna make everything Like it's going to cut the powdery effect if you put setting powder on. This is the finished look. This is no makeup makeup. My way, which I never do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next one.